Hello, ma'am. How are you? Can you hear me
Hi.
fine?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Just please
Yes, I can
highlight.
hear you
Uh-huh.
properly. Great. Uh, Thank you for joining the session, ma'am. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with a quick introduction and just a little bit of an overview around Naireeta Services, and then we'll delve into a few questions that we'd like to go through around Naireeta and Bungru. Um,
Sure.
Naireeta is a social enterprise working towards eradicating poverty through upliftment of the underprivileged members of the society by leveraging technology, is what our understanding is. And you've come up with a system, an innovative and sustainable system called Bhungru for combating water scarcity in arid regions. With that background, would love to hear more about Naireeta Services from you and about the system with you. But like just to start off with, what inspired you to create Naireeta Services, and how did the idea of Bhungru come about?
Okay. Yeah. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk with some of your followers and yeah, and make them understand about the Bungru technology. Actually, the Naireeta Services Social Enterprise was founded in 2011, but it was started work in 2013. And since 11 years, we are promoting this climate adaptive technology Gungru in 12 states of India. And outside of India, there are four countries: Bangladesh, Vietnam, Ghana, and Rwanda.
Okay.
So this is about NAITA services, the work area. Actually, there is a long history about the Bhungru. I can talk about 2 hours to the one day over it. But I just briefly mentioned you that how we have come up with the idea of Naireeta services and then how the Bhungru evolved as a technology.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think this is more important. So basically, my co-founder Viplav was working in the northern part of Gujarat states, which
Mhm.
is nearer to Pakistan border,
The
and it
Kutch,
is a semi-arid region.
the Kutch area
Yes,
primarily.
near to the Kutch Desert area. It is the
Right.
Patan district. So there is a problem of the water logging in the monsoon season. Although very small little rain is there, but because of the some reasons, the land is become impermeable. So land gets waterlogged in monsoon season for 15 days to 2 months period of time. So farmers
Mhm.
could not grow the crop in the monsoon, although they have a lots of water. And in summer and winter, because the smallholder farmers cannot afford the bore wells, they don't have the water for irrigation. So basically, their piece of land is uncultivable. So they come up with the idea that why don't you solve this kind the problems of us and make us the farmers, because they are working as a laborers to the urban area as a construction labor work or something. So it took the challenge and this Bhungru technology. Bhungru is the local word, is the Gujarati local language word, which means the big straw.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically is basic structure is a cylindrical pipe. So people are the my women farmers are calling it as a bungru,
Okay.
and we keep continuing that name only because at that time we don't know that we will be working outside of Gujarat, not only outside of Gujarat, but we are working in outside of India. So it's basically is a vernacular language name. It's nothing more, but its name is the cylindrical pipe.
All
Now,
right.
what we are doing in the monsoon season, the cylindrical pipe, we are injecting the excess rainwater into the particular soil stratas, which has the capacity to store the waters. So we inject the water through the gravitational force, store the water into the soil stratas, and within the same pipe, we are lifted it out the water for the irrigation in the dry season. So whether it is summer or winter. So basically, there is the zero crops. Now, farmers can take a two crops in a year.
Okay.
And yeah, so because of the you people kind of thing, social media, printed media, and other things, it got recognized in all over the India, and the farmers are calling us like, why don't you help us? So to
Uh-huh.
scale it up on a large scale, I have founded this Naireeta Services Private Limited as a social enterprise in 2011, and we have started work in the 2013. So this is the idea.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that Naireeta also operates in other countries like Bangladesh, Ghana, Rwanda as well. So what kind of work are you doing in those countries as well?
We are doing only we know only one work is the bungalow. So we are
Okay.
doing the same work in the other areas because wherever the water scarcity, this technology helps the farmers to get rid from the flood and drought, both the kind of situations. So it is the
Right.
climate adaptive technologies, and as per the one estimate, only 5 million farmers in India are waiting for the solutions, and across the globe, billions of the hectares of the lands are affected with this one. So,
Mhm.
I mean, the millions of the units required to solve the problem completely over the planet. And that's why we are, installing the bungalows in different areas also.
Okay. So you mentioned that it is a cylindrical pipe that basically takes the water from the ground level to a soil strata and then also pulls it back up for irrigation. So how I'm sure like you definitely made it sound simple, but I'm sure it's not that simple, the technology that goes behind it. So how does it work? How does it solve both the problem of water logging or flooding and at the same time water scarcity?
Yes, you are definitely true because I have make it simplest version of the technology. But
Right.
what we are doing first the feasibilities of the studies. Because the feasibility is required whether this bungalow will work, how much rain is there, how much water will be stored into the underground. Because the 1 unit of the bungalow is able to store 400,000 liters to the 40 million liters of the water. So
Okay.
it has the huge capacity. Then after the feasibility study, we find the location and the storage capacity of the soil strata. We are doing the ultraviolet studies of the geohydrological expert, which X-raying these 500 feet or maybe the 1,000 feet of the soil stratas. Then they will find out the exact soil stratas where the soil has the capacity to retain the water, store the water. So sometimes we have the stratas like of 60 to 80 feet, and sometimes we got the two soil stratas 80 to 120 feet or something like that. So we can store the millions of the liters, particular their soil stratas. So what we are doing, we are inserting the cylindrical pipe perforated, particularly to that soil stratas, so
Okay.
that water go. We filter the water first, then water will go inside, and then through these perforated holes, it will stored into the particular soil stratas.
Right.
You know that our grandfathers was extracting the groundwater from the 60 to 80 feet earlier,
Right.
and now the water levels is going deeper and deeper and deeper because we just extracted the water, not putting back.
Right.
So that 60 feet has the capacity to retain the water, but we never filled again that soil stratas. What
Okay.
we did, we did the recharge of the groundwater, so which is 1,000 feet right now. So while we are recharging the groundwater, the water will go away because the groundwater is like a river kind of thing. It's a stream inside the ground, right?
Uh-huh.
So we cannot get it back as much as we are putting in.
Right.
So, so that soil stratas earlier who has the capacity to store the water, we are finding it out, identify the soil stratas and injecting the water exactly into that layer.
Amazing. Um, I think it definitely sounds extremely useful for irrigation as well in especially in a farm setting. But at the same time, there's so much in the news these days that the cities are also getting waterlogged. Major parts of the cities are also facing some intermittent flooding in some shape or form. Uh, can Bungru also help in those areas to get rid of the water logging or at least again the this issue of water scarcity and very low groundwater tables also exist in cities as well. Can the same solution be um, slightly changed or used as is in cities as well?
Definitely. We started the storing of the water with to solve the farmers' problem. So
Mhm.
we have the very soft corner with the farmers, but definitely it has the application in other field areas. For example, we got the clients for the industrial areas because industrial also get waterlogged and it affects their production and other things. So in industrial areas also this technology will work. Second, for example, I mean, unique use of it is the, like a cricket ground.
Mhm.
So the Dhoni came to us because that PCCI Jharkhand cricket stadium is get waterlogged for the
Right.
longer period of time and did not hold the cricket match. So we have installed the 3 units into that area, and now they have the water also for the I mean stadium, and also that land gets water free. I mean stadium. So it has the similarly in urban areas also it has applications. We have nearly 17 designs, different designs of the bungalow, and
Mhm.
still we are evolving the designs of the bungalow by for the different geohydrological areas. So it has the shallow bungalow, deeper bungalow, then sometimes in the hilly areas while we require the storing of the water for a longer time. So different designs. So similarly, this technology will help to the get rid from the urban area flooding also. It
Right.
is also useful in the real estates because real estates also now to store the rainwater harvesting systems. But
Mhm.
that water is not they are taking back. So
Okay.
if the bungalow combined with the rainwater harvesting systems, then the builder also has the water for reuse kind of things. So it
Right.
has the multiple uses. Yeah.
And how easy is it to set up or implement Bhungru? Let's say uh, if somebody wants to do it themselves, is it something that's possible, or does your team have to assist them with the implementation and the execution of it, or deployment of Bhungru at their respective premises?
This technology was evolved by the trial and error methods over a period of 7 years. So
Mhm.
you can understand this is not so easy to implement by
All right.
anyone without having any training.
Okay. Understood.
So
So your
because
team essentially helps in deployment as well wherever needed.
yes.
Great. It really sounds interesting, and I think is quite relevant, at least from what's happening in most parts of North India during the monsoon season, and parts of West India as well. How do you measure impact that Bungru has created on an environmental and social level? Do you keep some metrics, or do you track certain metrics on that front?
Yeah, we have the we have the field offices. For example, we have the most of the our clients are from the South India. So we have the different offices and one director, full-time director in the South India. So similarly, we have the office in the Patan districts. So those people we are our first-hand information gather people because they are meeting the farmers and our clients on regular basis. So they will have the informal mechanisms to get the data, how much water has been stored and what kind of things. Sometimes the clients are also accessing us like. One producers in the Bombay and now one actor also has a bungalow in their farm. So those are keeps on sending us the videos and data and uh, so they are basically in touch with us. So yes, we have the not only the environmental but social and economic impact too. Environmental because large quantity of the water has been stored into the soil strata so that it gradually it has been I mean primary reasons to improve the soil qualities over a period of time. For example, in Patan district, हमने देखा कि we it has been over a 6 to 7 years period of time. Now the soil become the permeables and it more productive and more fertile.
Right.
Economic, of course, zero crops to two crops farmers, so 80 to 300% income increase by the farmers. And environmental, of course, green cover has been increased, so it is a great chance of the CO2 assimilations on a large scales per year. It is has been in tons. So we are regularly monitoring the things. We are collecting the data, and we are also evaluating our work by involving the third party. The Stony Brook University of the New York is our agencies. They are doing independent research on the impact of the bungalow.
Amazing. That sounds like you started creating impact at scale as well in on certain fronts. Have you faced any challenges in scaling Bungru to different regions? Since you mentioned that you also took Bungru to other countries. Did you face any challenges in that journey, or do you still face any challenges in scaling the usage of Bungru?
I think here is the we need to understand the definitions of the scaling up. Like from the single digits Bungrudu, we are now entering into the 4-digit kind of thing. So it is definitely growing up. But looking at the requirement or the total market size, it's the millions of the Bungru. So I mean, yeah, how do you measure the scale? That is the one of the important criteria. But definitely we would like to reach them most of the farmers, because farmers have evolved this technology. I mean, they were the key stakeholders. So millions of the farmers are waiting for the solution. So my total target market size is the millions. So in that sense, we have not done yet much about it. So there is a lots of challenges, because for in India level, it requires the farm operations. You know that the farming area is also the 5 to 6 kilometers away from the village area. So to deploy the team, to have the access, to go there, to install the bungalow, and we are using the local materials and the local people for installations. So it is not a
Right.
factory product kind of things.
Mhm.
So it requires lots of capacity building efforts, designing efforts, traveling things. So it has the limitations. I mean, so for example, in office we have only the 2 3 staffs, but all the most of the work is at the field level.
Right.
So so yeah, so it is first of all the hiring human resources is the one of the challenge. Second is the financial resources, and third thing is about the nature, because the while you are installing the bungalow and getting the results, I mean, if you are installing the bungalow in the month of May, then September will come and then water will go inside, and you use that water in the December or January and something like that. So the overall 1 year period is the time to really assess the impact of it. So it is
Right.
the long time, right? So all this
Long-term
kind of
journey.
challenges.
Makes sense. Um, with any social enterprises, a lot of support needed from the ecosystem in the form of, like NGO partnerships or government partnerships. What role have they sort of fulfilled in Bungru's journey or in Naireeta Services journey so far? Do they play any role, partnerships with NGOs and government organizations?
Yes, for the outside of India, we have decided we will not open the company over there, but we identify the local partners, which may be the NGO or maybe the industries. So we go there, we do the piloting with them, build their capacities, and then we come back and they will scale it up on their countries over there. Because we have enough work to do in the India. India is 12 states is like a 12 countries for the European countries, like European sense. So that is so there we are working as a partnership models. Here we are working directly with them, and that government is the major in those who having the one of the most of the infrastructures in their hand. Also, the access of the village levels is also with the government institutions most. So we have what the Bungro has been a part of the National Rural Livelihood Programs, Mission Programs, NRLM, and also the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, NREGA. This is the biggest poverty reduction programs in the India. So all these two schemes has considered the Bungro. So government is providing the money to the farmers, and they can call as a Bungro. Third is the industrial CSR also helping us to do the piloting of the bungalow in some areas. or maybe they are the clients for us, and the beneficiaries will be the farmers in that sense. So B2B models, we are working with the industries. We are working on the B2C and sometimes B2B2C also.
All right. And do you think that you need some additional support from the ecosystem to ease out this journey? Because at the end of the day, it's an entrepreneurial journey that you're going through, and you're still, scaling up Naireeta Services and implementation of Gumru across different parts. Do you see any support from the startup or the impact ecosystem that might be helpful to Naireeta at this stage?
Yes, we are looking for the right kind of the partners, basically,
What
because we
kind
are
of
looking
partner? Sorry.
partners. Yeah, yeah. The partners are basically who is really environmental friendly. I mean, those who are working on environmental issues. Second, working on the women issues. Here, the Bungru is not only the technology. It's actually, it is the second innovation is involvement of the women farmers in this whole technology. So I have been the instrumental in terms of implementing the strategies, the co-ownership of the Bungru with the 5 to 6 women farmers, and that's why the women farmers are empowered a lot. And then I don't have the time to tell the whole stories about this one, but you can have this like we have the given the water rights to the women. So
Right.
women don't have the land rights, but they have the water rights. So they empowered. I mean, they're not only holding the learn the technology, but implementing it, maintaining it, and also they are spreading the word of mouth of the Bongru among the other farmers. So basically, we don't have the marketing team, but they are the our agents who spread the word about the Bongru. So basically, so we are looking for the partners who has a good rapport with the women farmers, so that we can reduce the gender gap at the village level up to
Right.
certain extents. So those kind of the partners we are looking for. The other support is maybe from the certain ecosystems is for example, providing the human resources, who are the geohydrological technical experts, who have the staff members, we're really willing to go into the farming areas and do the work on
Right.
something like that.
Oh, that's, I think it's the best form of marketing when people who are using it are able to propagate or just spread word around it. Uh, it sounds amazing. So I just have a couple of more questions for you, and more from just your personal reflections in terms of your journey so far. Given that the community that we are building comprises a lot of impact startup founders who are starting their journey on who are starting their entrepreneurial journey. So I think your experience would definitely help on that front. So with any social enterprise, there's a very fine line that founders have to tread between the social impact aspect of the organization and the company being for profit at the same time. So how do you tread that line? How do you manage both the aspects and ensure that it is still true to its mission?
Yeah. So I don't also have any clear-cut answers on this. It is a black and not is a black and white word is
Right.
that. So some gray area is there. So every day we are struggling with ourselves because many people of us are telling us that you become the billionaires and then do the social works kind of things. Because it's a
Right.
huge demand of the bongos is coming. So why don't you work only with the industries? Why are choosing the farmers and something like that? So, but our choice is basically we are from the development sectors. We have the 26 years in the development sectors, and then this technology evolved. And by involving the women farmers, we have developed strategies to hand over the women farmers, the pongros. All these things is happening, and that's why we have started this social enterprise. So the starting of the social enterprise is the basic motto is not a profit, but to reach out to the more farmers. So we are
Right.
very clear that in terms of the impact. But every day it will be the dilemma with the entrepreneurs that whether you want to earn the profit more or whether you want to do the impact more, and
Right.
that's up to individual, because our individual journey is social, so we are more on the social part, but each
Right.
other peoples are basically looking for the profit. Then nothing wrong about it. I'm just telling you my startups and other things impacts
Right.
wise also. So is nothing. It is all that depends on the individuals. All that depends on grooming. All that depends on the values systems and other things. Only thing is that I'm just giving the advice to the startups that you should continue sustain in this field area, because whatever, first you focus on the profit or the impact on the profit, but sustain this field at least for the 1 decade, and then automatically your enterprise will take the turns whatever the one route and you want to take it up. So yeah, and the go with the flow kind of things.
That that sounds reasonable and fair. And lastly, ma'am, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your entrepreneurial journey? I know you mentioned that you've been in the development sector for the past 26 years, but since you started Naireeta Services, what has been the most rewarding aspect of this journey for you?
Okay. For the former awards, we got the local awards to the international awards like Kakajur Women Initiatives Award, and we are the 3 times award winner of the UN FCC, so United Nations Framework on Conventions on Climate Change. But most rewardable, if you are asking me personally, as an individual, then it is like when my women farmers are telling that. Uh, no, I mean, earlier we were called as a Sankuti in the village by the other villagers, but now they are calling me as a Sanku ban. So it means in Gujarat, if you are calling somebody with the ban, it means you are giving the respect to the other people. So now they are become not as a laborers, but they become self-employed and they have a dignified life. And
Right.
so that's I have seen from my naked side, and some of the farmers who are on the edge of the suicide, they not only free from their debt, but they are now the constructing the pakka house for them and something like that. So those are the things which is the most rewarding thing. These are my award and kind of things.
That really sounds great, ma'am. And these were the few questions that we had for you. And it was a pleasure knowing about Naireeta Services and Bungru's journey and the kind of impact that you're creating. And we wish you all the best for for the steps to come, for the milestones to come. And we look forward to seeing Bungru get implemented in various parts of the country.
Definitely, you are most welcome, and most welcome to this Gujarat area. And also, we have the some bungalows in the Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. So most welcome, and thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to reach out to your followers. Thank you.
It was our pleasure. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.